Hey guys, welcome back to episode 3. I can't believe we're already on three episodes. It's crazy. I have been waiting to talk about this since my first episode came out. This has been scheduled for 3 weeks now. I am so excited to talk to you guys about this because I'm just super passionate about it and I really want to help you guys out, and I think it's super insightful. So I'm sure you've seen the title already. You kind of know where this is kind of going, but I'm going to be talking about today 6 things you can do and you can start doing today that can change your life forever. And these are things that I do every single day, and they've really helped me, and it's just been super insightful. And I feel like my life has changed since doing these things and starting to do these things. First, we're going to start with quote of the day and quote of the week, because you guys only see me once a week. But quote of the week, I got this from reading Nick Bare's book. Came out in June 2025, so very recently, just got published, just came out. Was super excited to read this. I'm about halfway done with it now, so I'm on like page 130 or something. But it's just something that really kind of stuck with me, especially at this point in my life currently. So here's what the quote said: "Change isn't a threat to our security and safety, but an invitation to something bigger and potentially better." So just kind of let that sink in for a little bit. I'll reread it. Change isn't a threat to our security and safety, but an invitation to something bigger and potentially better. So I think what this means to me, right? And I wrote it down because in my life currently, I am transitioning jobs. I've been kind of not stuck, but I've been in this job for about 4 years now. Um, I was a mechanic. I worked at a tire shop. That was my job for about 4 years, and I just put my last day in as of last Saturday. That was my last day at the shop. And it was kind of sad because I love all those guys. I have great relationships with all those people, but I think it was just really time for a change. I didn't particularly see myself, working there for the rest of my life, obviously. Working on cars, like, it's just not a path I see for myself. And I kind of just asked myself, I'm like, if this isn't in the plan and if this is not something I want to do, why am I still doing it? Now, obviously, the job that I transitioned into, which is I'm going to start bartending at this fancy restaurant, right? Obviously, that is not something I want to do for the rest of my life either. But I think it's important that I went through this change and I'm experiencing something new. But obviously, I don't want to be a bartender. I don't want to be a host or server assistant for the rest of my life. But that's going to further propel me to create more connections with people. Um, like, say, a sports psychologist comes in to this place I'm working at, and I get to talk to him about it, and he gets me connections somewhere. There's also like that is what I'm considering as something, an aspect you could consider. Um, but this new job is just a change of pace. I looked at it in terms of, one, I'm getting, paid more um, for doing less work, which is crazy because, I'm doing a hard labor job. I go from doing a hard labor job to something that's less intense physically, and I'm getting paid more. So there's that to consider. I think that was something that needed to change, and it's going to allow me to train harder too, as well. Um, so that's kind of where I'm at in terms with that quote of the week. Just it's kind of just spoke to me, and if it speaks to you as well, if you are kind of in a jam, you're in a not a place you want to be in your life, whether it's a job, whether it's an internship, whether it's something that, you're stuck in, maybe a class you don't like taking, maybe it's a certain family situation, try to implement change in a new schedule, new environment, move to a new city, move to a new state, try new things and just really get out there and experience as much as you can. Because in my experience is everything. Coming from just like a young guy like myself, I'm not even 21 yet. Just say from this quote, I just take away, just experience things and don't stay in your comfort zone. He talks about change isn't a threat to our security and safety. So security and safety, staying in that box and being confined to a schedule and a specific like autopilot mode. So really get outside the box, think more, and pursue change. So that is the quote of the week. Thank you, Nick Bear. You're probably never going to listen to this, but I appreciate you, dude. And your book has been really insightful so far. So anyway, to the main topic of today, I've been dying to talk about this. Like I said, it's just been on my mind for so long. I wrote like the notes for this in my journal, episode 3 before episode 1, because I just wanted to talk about it. So this leads me to number 1 of the 6 things you can start doing today that can change your life forever. Number 1, just get up earlier. Getting up early for me has changed my life dramatically. This started before my bodybuilding prep. This started way before. This started like high school era. I am way more disciplined now than I was in high school. But in high school, I still was getting up early. I was a high school athlete, basketball, football, track. I had to be up early for those sports. So for me, it instilled in me kind of this urgency to get up early and start the day earlier to really just get the day going. I feel like a lot of kids now, when I talk to them, like some of my friends, they're like, oh, I get up at like 10, or even like on my college campus, they'll be like, oh, yeah, my first class was at 9:30. I woke up at 9. In my opinion, if you wake up early, you start the day earlier and you get more done. And for me, looking at it in a way of, if I'm up more, right? If I get up earlier, I'm experiencing way more life than someone who's waking up at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11, 12, right? Midday. Now, sure, you can make the argument that, you're going to bed later around midnight, but I think I would rather get up earlier because I still think you're getting more out of that than going to bed later and waking up later, because I feel like you lose half your day. And I feel, well, I don't know if anybody out there is like this or like me. When I wake up later, like even 8, 9 o'clock, if I'm sleeping in, right, I feel way less productive. So for me, waking up at 5 o'clock every day that's how my schedule's set up. It gives me a sense of structure to where I can get up early and get things done that I need to get done before I head to school, before I do this next task, these next things I have to do. So my number 1 thing to start this off is just get up earlier. Create a structure, create a morning routine. Like, I don't know, you've definitely seen those things on Instagram with, what is it, Ashton Hall? Those ridiculous morning routines that I've seen him do with the ice bucket and it's ridiculous. You don't need a 3-4 hour morning routine. You just don't. But I encourage you to just wake up earlier. It doesn't have to be 5 a.m. like me. It doesn't have to be 4:30. It doesn't. But let's say you're waking up at 8. Try waking up at 7. Just start little increments. You can wake up an hour earlier and get a little bit more done. And work on something that maybe you've been putting off. That could be a homework assignment that you could get done before you go to class. That could be You could get some journaling in. You could read. You could exercise. You could get up a little early, go to the gym, get it out of the way so you don't have to do it later in the day. There's so many things you can do just by waking up early. So that's my number one thing that you can do, that you can start doing to change your life forever. Number two is also really important. And it's really, really simple, but it's also, I think a lot of people lack, and it's something I lacked for a while now, and I've been trying to change it as well. Just have a positive attitude and mindset. It's something so simple, but we overlook it all the time. Like, we're going to be moody. We're going to be upset from things that happen. We have speed bumps in our life, right? And just little tiny things can make us mad and moody. Here, I'll give you a quick example and a quick story. During prep, I was working an internship and I was working a part-time job I was a mechanic at the tire shop. And working there and being on a prep diet was exhausting. I mean, I was exhausted 24/7. I came to work like a zombie. And I remember that because I came to work like that and I had a negative kind of view and didn't have any energy, wasn't like, didn't have a good attitude about things. I was like, oh my God, life freaking sucks right now. That's how I walked into work, and I carried that energy with me through work, and it affected every single person I worked with. It made the work environment worse. It really did. And I actually ended up having a talk with my boss, my former boss. And he told me, he was like, are you doing okay? And he's like, I don't like this new version of you. He told me I was a different version. And it was like, and it really put into perspective for me, like, my attitude is not affecting just me. It's everybody around me. Everybody around me was just like not in a good mood because I wasn't. And it wasn't until my boss talked to me about it that I was like, holy crap, he's right. So I remember coming in my next shift, I tried to be as upbeat and positive as I possibly could, even while being exhausted. And guess what? Everybody was responding to me. We were cracking jokes. We were having fun at work. And it was actually like not a bad day. Just having a positive attitude and a positive mindset and just looking at things in a more positive light can enhance your mood and enhance other people around you. It's contagious and it's amazing. So it's something I struggled with on prep because you just don't have the energy to do that. And you're just exhausted from doing everything on such low food, not eating a lot. So that's something I'm striving to do now. Now that I have the energy, I'm as upbeat as possible all the time. Sure, I might be a little tired when I come home from the day, but first thing I do when I walk in the house is I'm upbeat and positive to when I talk to my dad, talk to my mom. I'm like, hey guys, how was your day? What did you do today? Not just coming home and then like going up to my room, No, you need to just have a better positive outlook on life and just your attitude towards people. It really makes an impact, trust me. Number 3, this one's kind of a weird one, but I've actually experienced this after prep. For some reason, I got really into dressing better. Number 3 is dress better. I think it just stems from, I've heard a couple like studies on it where if you dress better, you feel more confident, and in turn, you feel better about yourself. So for me, when I dress better, like right now I'm wearing like Carhartt khaki pants and like this, I don't know, long sleeve. Like I feel good about myself. I feel confident. I feel like I could try to command a room if I really wanted to. And just, I guess you could apply that to the workforce, maybe like just dressing professionally. I get like looks all the time about my appearance. People just give me weird looks. They're like, why do you dress so nice? Like I took a kinesiology exam today, and one of my friends was like, why are you so dressed up? Why you look so fancy? And I'm like, I'm just wearing a long sleeve and khakis. What's the problem? You know what I mean? Like, as a society, I feel like kids just show up to school now wearing Crocs, sandals, and like Birks. Don't get me wrong, Birks, all that stuff's comfy, but I feel like it's not appropriate for school. I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but that's just me. And since I've started dressing better, I've either gotten weird looks from people that are like, yo, why are you dressing like this? And then there was also people that like respect it. And they're like, hey, like, I like that shirt. Like, I got a couple compliments the other day about what I was wearing. And I'm like, hey, thanks. I appreciate that. But if you simply dress better, I think people will learn to respect you a little bit more. You could have the opposite effect. You know, I've had both. But for me, I dress kind of better in my style just because it makes me feel good. So if you got a nice shirt out there you want to put on, if you got a nice dress, if you're a girl listening to this, you want to put it on, go to school, do it. Wear what makes you feel good about yourself. If that's sweats and a sweatshirt, by all means wear it. But for me, like putting a little bit extra effort in will make me feel better because I think I look better. So yeah. Number 3, dress better. Number 4, now, I think this is probably the most important one on this list. I wouldn't say most, it's up there for me. All 6 of these are really important, so I don't know why I keep saying that, but this one is just very simply spend less time on your phone. Spend less time plugged in. I have found so much clarity by simply toning down my screen time and setting a limit on my phone of how much I can consume, whether that's social media or just pure screen time. During high school, I struggled a lot with body image, like I talked about in the second episode, right? A lot of that stemmed from, bullying, but also it stemmed from social media. Social media, you see all these people, all these influencers, especially fitness influencers that post in this like these perfect lighting, these perfect angles. Photoshop was also huge. Um, and you look at these photos and you're like, why can't I look like that? It creates this distorted image of what's real and what's not. And it's like, for me, I wanted to have a six pack abs. I wanted to have a bigger chest, have bigger shoulders. I wanted to look like these influencers, and it not being able to look like them in a sense, I was like, it spiked my anxiety, it spiked my depression. I was just not in a good place mentally. My being on my phone, I think I averaged 9 hours a day through high school. In my first year of college, I averaged that. That's ridiculous. 9 hours. Like, I remember I went back and looked at it and it said 9 hours, and I couldn't believe how much time I was spending and wasting on my phone. But that leads me to just now. I've been able to bring it back. I've deleted Snapchat, deleted TikTok. There's no reason to have those. Like, I don't know if you guys like look at it like how I look at it, but Snapchat, you're just taking pictures of yourself and sending it to other people. For me, that's just a waste of time. I get if you're in a group chat like that, I get that makes sense. Maybe if you're getting homework answers, I've done that before. Homework answers in college from people in your class or people in your high school. I understand that, but sending a picture to yourself to somebody, what's the point? TikTok, scrolling. It's called TikTok for a reason. You spend time on it. These apps are dedicated to getting you to engage with them and spend as much time as you possibly can on them. These companies feed off of your eyes on their phone. They want you to stay on that app for as long as possible. So simply for me, removing Snapchat, removing TikTok, instantly lost 2 hours off that screen time. I still have Instagram, I still have YouTube, but I have a limit. Um, It's usually at night when I've finished everything. I have like a reward system that I'll use. It's basically if I've gotten everything I've gotten done for that day, I can have 20 to 30 minutes of YouTube or Instagram. I will choose one or those two apps. I can scroll for 20, 30 minutes and I can watch maybe a 20, 30 minute YouTube video. That's my window. I only get 20, 30 minutes every single day. That has allowed me so much mental clarity and focus. And not only that, I just feel better. My mood has drastically has changed. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever tried going without your phone for a couple days. I tried that. The experience is insane. I mean, I went without it for about 3 days and I just put it in like a lockbox, not really lockbox, but I put it in my dresser drawer under my socks. And I just wanted to see, I wanted to test. It was weird for the first day. And then the second day I was like, okay, it's not that bad. Third day I was like, I could live without my phone. Obviously, when I got my phone back, I was like, holy crap, I have, a couple messages from people that I needed to respond to, emails I needed to send. Um, yeah, I just think if you spend less time on your screens, um, on your phone specifically, I think the phone is not, it's just not a good tool, you know? But I think if you're just mindlessly scrolling on social media, it can be so dangerous to your mental health because it was to me. And if you're struggling with mental health, that could be also another quality you need to consider, spending so much time on your phone. Now, when I talked about being plugged in earlier, that goes for AirPods and headphones as well. Try to be present in the moment. What I've been doing now is when I walk to class or when I'm not locked in and I'm not studying, I won't have headphones in. Sometimes it's at the gym too when I just don't put headphones in. You need to try to be present with your surroundings and be aware of everything. And you can honestly hear yourself think more. You tend to start thinking more and exploring new things in your brain. You think more because your brain naturally will fill the gaps without the music in your ears, without the TikTok sounds on your phone when you're watching and scrolling. Your brain will naturally fill that artificial void that you've created, and you will think more and think freely. So I think number 4, absolutely, if you want to change your life, spending less time on screens will definitely help you. Now, obviously, I spend time on screens. Right now, I'm recording on a screen. I'm recording on my laptop. So you can spend time on screens. It's just how to manage it and make it work for you. Don't be a slave to the screen. Don't let the screen control you. You need to control the screen. Okay, so it's just something to consider. Man, I feel like a legit podcaster. This is awesome. Anyway, number 5, I think is extremely important. I'm going to say that for all of these. Having goals, but having anti-goals as well. So if you don't know what anti-goals are, it's basically when you have a goal and you want to reach that goal, but there are things that cannot cross a line in terms of reaching that goal, if that makes sense. So let's say I have a goal to, let's say I want to work on this podcast. I want to release 5 episodes, or I want to get to 200 listeners, 200 followers on this podcast by the end of this year, let's say. My anti-goal would be to not sacrifice time with my family to get to that goal. Like if you have a physical goal, right? It could be I want to lose 30 40 pounds in X amount of time. That time frame is very important because it stresses that time of space that you have to get that goal completed. So you need to have like a timeline and steps to get there. So that's important for that goal. But having an anti-goal and knowing what you don't want to sacrifice to get there, because there's a difference between, I feel like, reaching your goal but excluding every other factor. So when you are striving for something so great, like for me, it's just trying to get my schoolwork done, get a really good GPA this semester, maybe apply to grad school not next year, get ready to do that stuff. I cannot spend less time with my family because during the summer, I never saw them due to prep, due to working practically 2 jobs. So for me, an anti-goal I have right now is spending time with my family. That is an anti-goal that I have. I am going to pursue greatness in every aspect of my life, including my family. Because without my family, I won't be great. So that is an aspect you need to consider. So have goals, but have anti-goals as well. Things that you cannot sacrifice for that goal. Last but not least, number 6. I touched on it a little bit before when we talked about screens and being present, but it's just the aspect of learning to be present. If you, let's say, for example, you talk to a friend on the phone or you meet them for lunch somewhere, don't have your phone on the table if you're meeting them for lunch. If your phone's on the table, you're not in the conversation. You're just not. Like, learn to be present in a conversation you're having with somebody. Be fully engaged with that person in class. Another thing I'm trying to work on is being present in class. When a teacher asks or a professor asks a question, I'm raising my hand. I want to engage with this class because I'm paying to go to this school. Why wouldn't I want to get the most out of it? Right? So for me, it's engaging in every opportunity that you have and every experience that you have. Having a conversation, a simple conversation could be just, hi, how you doing? Like genuinely being involved and engaging with a person in a conversation is so powerful. And if you have your phone out, you don't really care. Again, regarding to school, if you have your phone out in class or you have your computer out and you're doing something else, you're not fully engaged with the lesson. So I think it's just slowing down and engaging with people in our surroundings. Like I said before, take your AirPods out, take your headphones out. Your brain is naturally going to start thinking and it's going to fill the void and fill the silence. It's like a form of meditation almost. Being without your headphones, being present with the surroundings, just simply going on a walk. Like Albert Einstein, for example, said he did his best thinking and came up with his newest ideas while walking, just going on walks. And he said his walk would allow him to focus and think of these new ideas and ideologies. So for me, learning to be present is something I am also struggling with, but am also thriving with now. Take your AirPods out, take your headphones out, be present with somebody who you're talking to, because their experiences are different than yours, and you can maybe learn something from them. And I think that's so valuable. So yeah, that's kind of all I have for you today. 6 things you can start doing today that can change your life forever. I hope I gave you guys some insight. It's kind of just, like I said, this is something I've really wanted to talk about since the episode 1 came out. This has been in my notes. This has been something I wrote down and brainstormed from week 1 before starting this podcast. So just to give you a quick overview, these are these 6 things that I got for you guys. Number 1, get up earlier, even if it's just an hour. 30 minutes. Get up earlier, start your day earlier, do a simple task, and you'll already feel more fulfilled and more productive. It could be as simple as getting up 5-10 minutes earlier and making your bed. Making your bed that day can already set you on your path and give you momentum for the day ahead. And you could be even more productive that day. So simply by waking up a little bit earlier can enhance your days to come. Having a positive attitude. Having a positive attitude is extremely contagious, like I said. If you're in a bad mood, others around you will probably be in the bad mood too. If you're in a great mood, if you're bouncing around, you're happy, you're enjoying life, others will see that and they'll react in the same exact way. And if somebody's in a bad mood and you come along with a good mood and you're just upbeat and you're full of it, you could change their mood. You could make them laugh. You can maybe even give them a compliment. You can make an impact on people's lives just by having a positive attitude. Number 3, dress better. In any way you see fit. It doesn't have to be a suit and tie every day. It doesn't have to be a really pretty dress. It doesn't. For me, I'm wearing khakis and I'm wearing a long sleeve. Or is this a Henley? Is that what they call it? I'm wearing a Henley. It could be as simple as that. Like yesterday, I wore jeans and I wore a t-shirt. Like, it does not have to be something like that. I just think like Crocs and stuff like that, that's at-home stuff. You know what I mean? Show up for yourself, dress a little bit better, show some effort. People will end up respecting you a little bit more just by dressing a different way. Because I think what people do now is they see people wearing sweats and shorts and it's like, hey, I just want to fit in. That's what it is. People see that and they just want to fit in. Like, oh, everybody's wearing a sweatshirt today. Everybody's wearing shorts and sweatpants. I'm going to wear that. No, you know, if you want to stand out in a crowd, look different, do different things. You know what I mean? So simply by dressing better, you could have the attention of different people and you can stand out. And why wouldn't you want to stand out in a world that's trying to make you fit in? Right? So, number 3, dress better. Number 4, spend less time on devices, guys. I'm telling you, your phone is your enemy. It can be a good tool, but it can be an enemy if you use it in the wrong way. Number 5, have goals and have anti-goals. Number 6, learn to be present. All right, guys. That's all I have for you today. I'm super excited to talk about my next topic in episode 4, but that is for next week. You guys will have to wait for that one. But yeah, this has been an amazing episode. I really wanted to talk about this, like I said. I thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.